Thanks for joining me for this short scale study. Today, we're going to focus on concert B-flat major. Let's get started with our first major scale and arpeggio quarter notes. My metronome is set at 70 beats per minute. Let's begin. 1, 2, B-flat scale. I'm sure you did that one wonderfully. Concert B-flat is a very common key for us flutes. So let's move quickly and move on to number 2. Number 2 is major scale and arpeggio eighth notes. 1, remember those B-flats and E-flats. 1, 2, eighth notes, and go. And let's move on to our major chords study for this one. 1, 2, ready. Super. Next, the pattern of thirds. Keep in mind, we need that B-flat and E-flat fingering. See if you can follow the composer's breath mark suggestions. 1 and 2 and ready and... Next, the chromatic pivot scale. Our pivot note is F for this exercise. Our second note is E natural, and then we'll need an E flat, and a D, and a D flat, pinky only, and I think you know the rest of the notes, C, B natural, and B flat. Every other time, though, we alternate back to our pivot note, the note F. Here it is, chromatic pivot scale. And 1, 2, ready. Now, let's do our concert B-flat chromatic scale. 1, 2, ready. I'll stop for a second just to go and remind you of some of the commonly mistaken chromatic fingerings. In this scale, oftentimes C sharp is mistaken. That's just our fingering for D flat. D sharp is an often mistaken note in our playing, and that D sharp fingering is nothing more than the fingering for E flat. G sharp, yeah, you guessed it, A flat. Now, coming down that chromatic scale, maybe G flat was confusing for you. Well, G flat is, well, it's F sharp. So in your mind, remember, G flat is always F sharp. How'd you do? Okay? Let's finish up this exercise with a chorale study. 1, 2, ready. There you go, concert B flat major. I hope this was helpful. I hope you'll consider playing along with me again soon. And I hope you'll consider moving on to some of the other advanced scale study in this series. As I always say, I hope I'll see you again soon. Keep practicing.